Our relationship with Allah should not be based on rights and hukuk. I have a right to this and Allah has a right to that. This sort of relationship in itself is very disrespectful to Allah. Having a relationship like that. It's like something that you expect from Allah. If He gives you, then you're happy. So this is something that's really not so good. Now obviously Allah loves us anyway. But it should not be the essence of our relationship with Him. It's like, for example, when you come back from a trip, of whatever trip you have been on in your business or whatever, and you come back and you have a child who comes to you and the first thing he says is that, did you bring me anything? Now, obviously, you're his father and you still like him and all that, and you would, yes, I brought you, but, and so you feel good that he's asking you for it. But what if that child comes to you and says, I'm so glad you're back, I was just waiting for you? You see, how will that make you feel? That he was expecting you. There's a different relationship than just give and take. You see, our relationship with Allah should not be give and take. Even with the Imams, it should not be a relationship of give and take. Like when we go for ziyarat, we have a shopping list, to ask the Imams, that Imam, I want this, I want this, I want this. Even though the Imams would still look at you and lovingly, but it's different if you had gone there and said, Imam, I'm here for you. I just came for you, just to be with you. You see, that's different. So a lot of times we need to look at our relationship and make sure that our relationship with Allah or our relationship with our Imams is not based on this give and take. There should be an attachment of attraction. There should be an enjoyment of just being with each other, of just spending time with Allah. That's why, for example, Allah says that, listen, after you pray, don't rush away somewhere. Sit down, read tasbih. At least read tasbih, sit down there. It's like after you say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, that's it, you're gone. Allah says, wait a minute, we just got to know each other. Let's spend some time together. Tasbih, really, like for example, this businessman, he came to prayer in Jamaat, and right after the Jamaat was done, he was ready to rush away. His friend said, listen, wait here. Where are you rushing off to? He said, I have a deal to make. I have to go and get ready for that. Whatever. He says, what do you mean deal? These deals are done by Allah. He says, read tasbih right now, and you will see that Allah will make the deal for you. Now, one of the wisdom of tasbih is that when you pray to Allah, when you do the tasbih, you're now leaving your affairs in Allah's hands. Just sit there and read tasbih. Now Allah will take care of your affairs. He will take care of your things now because you read the tasbih after that. Just that. Read tasbih. Just spend some time with Allah. Don't rush away. Don't be like in a hurry to leave. So what happened is that this relationship should be something enjoyable. It should be attractive for us. I want to sit with Allah. I want to sit in front of Him. I want to spend as much time as I can here. You see, this is what our relationship should be. And if you just base your relationship on give and take, that I'm just waiting for Allah to give me this, and there's like your Islam or your relationship with Deen is like a profit loss statement, where you see, okay, how much profit I got, how much loss I got. This is really not appealing. especially to youngsters. Youngsters don't find this appealing, like this transaction you're making and all that. They shy away, and that's why a lot of us lose our children, because that's what they see religion as, that you're giving and taking. There's no real meaning in this. Send the salawats. And this is especially in the times that we are living in right now. In the times that we are living in right now, you should be very, very aware of this and careful of this, because the times that you're living in right now is not the times of logic and reasoning. You can't bring logic and reasoning nowadays. It doesn't work anymore. That was so 100 years ago. Now the world is about attraction. It's about beauty. It's about, how do you look? No one cares who you are. All they care about is, how are you looking? It's the world right now. And this is the thing. Who is able to sell themselves better? Who is able to merchandise and purchase things and package it and put it out there? So now everyone is looking at the packaging. They're not looking at the package. Everyone's looking at the outward things. Do you see that right now? If you look at what's going on, you all live here, in the heart of America. This is as red as it gets, as MAGA as it gets. So when you're living in a place like this, you see, in what way and why are right-wing Christians voting for Trump? In what aspect of his life is he a Christian? Donald Trump has done every sin in the Bible except for wasting food. And when you look at that, but why are they voting for it? Because it's the image. Give the image, give an idea, give this whatever it is. People don't care about facts. Who cares about facts? If you watch any debate that goes on, you'll see the fact checker machine is broken. It can't count the amount of lies that are being spent. No one cares about that. No one cares about facts and truth and this is the real deal. Oh, no. They all care about what is the image. This is the world we are living in right now. This is the world we are living in right now. And we have to deal with that. You can't bring logic in front of that. Well, why don't you read this book? Philosophy. No one cares. It's about advertising. It's about presentation. This is the world right now that we're living in. And hence you don't fight that with logic and reasoning and facts and history and all that. You have to fight it the same way with the power they're bringing. And that is the power of beauty. Let's work on this. I'm going to read some ayat right now where Allah speaks about beauty. Now there are 50 ayat in the Quran. In the Quran, there are 50 ayat on the subject of beauty, of attraction. The 50 ayat, I'm going to read a few. And where Allah is speaking about the power of this beauty, the power of this attraction. I mean, it's not simple that we're talking about. It's not easy. It's very powerful. And now Allah, I'll just read the ayat for you so that inshallah from here we can understand and go forward. Send the salawats. All right, in this ayat, Allah is saying, وَجَدْتُهَا وَقَوْمَهَا يَسْجُدُونَ لِلشَّمْسِ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. He says, we found her and her people prostrating to the sun. They're worshipping the sun, right? And not Allah. They worship the sun. And he says, وَزَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ أَعْمَالُهُمْ. Shaitan has made their actions and their lifestyle beautiful for them. He has beautified it, and this power of beauty that He has made for them, He has made it attractive for them. And this attraction, what has it done? فَصَدُّهُمْ عَنِ السَّبِيلِ. It has blocked them from Allah. You see, it has blocked them from Allah. Shaitan made their actions look good. I am doing something. Shaitan comes, and you know what he does? He says, hey, such a great thing you did. I'm doing great. Very good. So once you get into that and start seeing the beauty and get mesmerized by that, what happens? فَصَدُّ عَنِ السَّبِيلِ. You're blocked. There's a huge wall that comes between you and Allah, and guidance, and truth, and haqq, and Imam Ali, whatever, Ahlul Bayt. Huge thing that comes between you and them. Because shaitan has made something beautiful and you fell for it. Let me read another ayat. وَعَادًا وَثَمُودًا وَقَدْ تَبَيَّنَ لَكُم مِّن مَسَاكِنِهِمْ وَزَيَّنَ. And speaking about Ad and Samud, and how He has made their dwellings, their people, and these were intelligent people, Ad and Samud. Allah even says they're mustabsirin, they're like smart people, not like dumb or ignorant people. Ad and Samud were intelligent people. And those people, He's saying, وَزَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانِ. Shaitan made their actions, a'mal, beautiful for them. They looked at their actions and they felt proud. Yes, what we're doing is right. What I'm doing is right. And they fell for it. They didn't see the wrongness of their actions. They didn't see the ugliness of their actions. No, their actions were actually good. You praised it. And they started also looking at it that way. And then what happened? فَصَدُّ عَنِ السَّبِيلِ. Sad means like a blockage, a dam. That's it, a wall that comes between, where you can't now go forward, finish, you're ended. That's a dead end. And it's blocked for you. Look at this ayat. Now what happened? Just shaitan beautified their actions and their dunya, and people fell for it. People got captivated by it. When you get captivated by the beauty of this life, that's it, my friends. It's over. One more ayat I'll read for you. He says, وَكَذَلِكَ زُيِّنَ لِفِرْعَوْنَ سُوءُ عَمَلِهِ. And his Pharaoh's action were made beautiful for him, were made attractive for him. He looked at it as good. He looked at it as beautiful. And so what happened? After that, وَصَدَّ عَنِ السَّبِيلِ. Same thing. He now is blocked from Allah, from guidance, from anything. My friends, these ayats are saying that beauty has power. It's very powerful. When you see beauty, you get attracted by it. Anything. If it's made beautiful for you, now there's either you're going to fall for it or not. If you fall for it, you're mesmerized by it. You're like, wow, look at that. Wow, look at that. That's it. And this hype that comes is what blocks you from Allah. Allah is saying, now if you fell for shaitan's trap, if you got mesmerized and captivated by shaitan's trick of making this dunya look beautiful, then that's it, my friends. That's the end of story. Game over. The fat lady has sung. There's no more after this. It's over. There's no way for you to come back to Ahlul Bayt. There's no way for you to come back to Allah. See the power behind this. Allah gives the example of Ad and Samud and Pharaoh. Were these people able to come back? They couldn't. Because why? Allah is saying because they fell for shaitan's trick of making this dunya look beautiful, and they got captivated by it. Their actions were looking to be beautiful and they got captivated by it. It's in everything that we do. Subhanallah. You see, that's the power of beauty. and now you want to bring logic and reasoning and all that. It doesn't work. It doesn't work now. Subhanallah. It can't work. In fact, it's so powerful, you will see that you will spend money for dunya. You will spend your hard-earned money for the beauty of this dunya and the attraction of this dunya. Yes, you can buy, I don't know, a shirt from Ross, dress for less, you know? But no, you want to go and buy it from Armani store. So instead of a $20 shirt, you want to spend the $500 on this shirt, which, believe me, you're not going to wear it. It's going to wear you. And that's what happens. You will spend it, and you don't mind spending it. Why? Because you're captivated. You will go and buy things that are so expensive and this and that. And here, and when you look at Deen, Deen is inviting you for free. The Majlis of Imam Hussain is free. In fact, you get free food here also. You get tabarruk here also for free. You know? And here we get everything for free, but we don't want to spend for it, or we don't want anything for it. But when you look at dunya, you see how much we are ready to spend for it. Look at the irony behind it. Why is that? My friends, the power of beauty. All shaitan did is make it look beautiful, glamorous. Put some lights on it. Put some music behind it. And now you're like all for it, going forward. This is what happens. And when we start getting captivated, Allah is saying, story over. Now my guidance won't work for you. My guidance won't work for you. On one hand, you'll hear that rock star that you want to listen to, that rapper that you want to listen to, and on the other hand, you hear Imam Hussein's Majlis, his Noha, and all these things, and a time will come when you say, that is more attractive. That's it. That's the end of game. And you lost your children. You lost your children. The battle is finished. Now you should just read Fatiha and it's over. So, we need a way out of this, right? Subhanallah. They can't be guided. Let me give you the example. Let's say, for example, how does it make it happen? And like Hollywood. What is Hollywood? Hollywood is make-believe. Hollywood is there to make you believe that something that's not real is real. Like Santa Claus. You know? Hollywood is there to make you believe that something that's wrong is right. Like sins, guna. The job of the silver screen is to put sins on the silver screen to make you believe that it's okay. It looks good. In fact, it's fun. You see? That's fun. And what's bad is anything that has to do with God. God, that's where the extremism is. That's where terrorists are. That's where the fanatics are. Really? Is that so? You see, its job is to make you believe that. Once you believe in that, then it's game over. You cannot be guided after that. Once you fall for that, that's it. You can't be guided for that after that. My friend, this is serious. This is in your life. Right now, what's happening in your life with your children and everyone around you. Anyone, for example, who wears hijab, you'll say that's extremism. Really? That's extremism? No, Bibi Fatima was an extremist. Bibi Zainab was an extremist. What are you trying to say? But nowadays it's extremism. What do you mean nowadays? You think that if Bibi Fatima comes today that she's going to change because nowadays the kuffar are like that? The kuffar were existing then. You think that she's going to change now? You think that Bibi Zainab is going to come back here and she's going to change her way because the stupid kuffar are doing things differently? They're not going to change for these people because these people are not going to come to their graves. Ahlul Bayt will be there in your grave. So you better make sure that you're doing things the way Ahlul Bayt wanted. Do things the way you want, otherwise you are gone. I'm telling you, anyone, if any scholar comes here and gives you a testimony that, hey, do whatever you want, I'm sorry. That is not what Quran says, that is not what Ahlul Bayt say. So listen to the truth from Quran and Hadith. This is more important for us. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Shaitan hypes things up. No one wants to do evil or bad. You know why you do bad? Why youngsters do bad? It's because of the hype. That advertisement, that publicity that's out there. It's like really big, making something so big, like, wow, I want to see what that is. That's all it is. I remember we were in Iran and there was a group of youth who came to Iran, and I used to be like their teacher in their group and all that. So we went and met one of the alim there. He's a very well-known alim, Aghay Karaati. A lot of people might know him, and he was, so we had a Q&A with him. They were asking questions in English, so I was there translating for them. So one of the kids just asked a random question, right? And he said, my question is, why is haram more tastier? And that's his question. Why is haram more tastier? Which is a valid question for him. Because he comes from a place where, you have all the haram out there, and then you have the halal. I don't know, for example, if you eat a burger that's haram, and you eat the Eid burger you make at, ZEHRA Center, in Eid. So which one is better? I don't know. But the issue is this. That's the question he asked. And the answer really, if you look at it, right, it's not because it's tastier. It's not tastier. It's just the hype and the publicity behind it. They put it on a big billboard and you see that juice falling out of that meat and you're like, That's what happens. You fall for it. Shaitan's job is to make it look beautiful. That's it. All he does is that here, this is so beautiful. Look at this. And that's what we fall for. My friends, this is what Shaitan does. That's his mission. Get it in your mind that Shaitan's mission is to make this dunya look good. That's all he wants to do. He wants to advertise it, he wants to push it, he wants to put it in a packaging and merchandise it in such a way that when you look at it, you fall for it. That's what he does in this dunya. Now, what are we going to do to combat it? You see, we need to find out, right? What are we going to do to combat it? So, we have already discussed that we don't write more books, right? That's not going to work. My friends, a lot of things that we do really don't work like that. There are two ways, my friends, to combat this. There's two ways to deal with this issue in our life. First way to deal with this is to show the beauty that you have. Look at your deen, look at your religion, and see what is beautiful in it. First, you have to know yourself. Man, this is beautiful. Wow, this is beautiful. Learn about it. Then you will see the beauty in it. Learn about it. What is beautiful? And I told you, right, one of the most beautiful things we have is Rasulullah and Ahlul Bayt. Really, you should know the beauty of Rasulullah. You should know the essence. Sometimes we don't pay attention to it. I think this was either Ibn Arabi or Ibn Sina. I can't remember which one was it, right? He was a very great scholar, and the students really looked up to him. So one of his students was overwhelmed by the knowledge that he had. So one night they were sleeping, and it was winter time, cold, and they were like lying down, and it was like half an hour to Fajr. And you know in the morning time it gets really cold, right? And in those days they didn't have heaters. So they just used to be in the blanket, staying warm. Right? Once you get out of the blanket, it gets cold. So the student was praising the scholar and saying, "MashaAllah, you are such a great scholar. You have so much knowledge and this and that." He says, "Why don't you declare yourself as the prophet, as a prophet? Because your knowledge is equal to a prophet's knowledge. It's equal to a prophet's knowledge." Really? You know, and now Ibn Sina didn't say anything. He was like, okay, whatever, you know. Whatever. So, he didn't say anything, but you should declare yourself and all these things. So, all he said is that, "Hey, listen, I'm thirsty." Ibn Sina said this to a student. He says, "I'm thirsty. Would you get me a glass of water?" Now, for him to get a glass of water, he needs to get out of the blanket, go to the well, and get the well, do all the work to get the water out and bring him, right? And it's cold outside. So the student says, it's about 15 minutes to Fajr, if you just wait out, you're going to get up anyway. Ibn Sina didn't say anything. He was quiet. Didn't say anything. And then they heard the azan. And when they heard the azan, Ibn Sina now said, "You want me to say that I'm a prophet? You know the difference between me and Rasulullah? The difference is this: you are my personal student. I asked you for a glass of water and you're making excuses." This is Muhammad's beauty and power, that after 1,000 years, people still are getting up in the morning and giving azan and saying, "Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah." Understand the power of Rasulullah. That even today, that what we have inside, where is this coming from? Recognize this beauty. Know what it is, and then transfer it to others. Show others that it is there. That's only one part, my friends, knowing it. Second part is to give it to others. Make others understand that how beautiful this is. When you go for prayer, wear your best clothes. Why do you have to wear the jogging pants to come for namaz? Wear something, that's good. Make yourself presentable. Put some perfume. Itr, perfume, Rasulullah says that there is no israf in perfumes. Meaning that as much money as you spend on it, it will not be considered israf. Why? Make yourself smell good. This is what you should be doing. There was a Shia who had a dead fish in his hand. He was walking home with a dead fish, a big dead fish, in his hand, walking in the street. Now, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, he saw him walking. He says, "What are you doing?" He says, "What are you doing?" He says, "Maula, you said, that a man should go out and get food for his family. So I'm taking food back to the family." He says, "But look at this fish, it's smelling. And you look ugly with that fish like this in your hand. Put it in a package or something, Why are you making us look bad? Because everyone knows you as our Shia. If you are a Shia, you don't have the right to smell bad. You don't have the right to smell bad because you belong to Ahlul Bayt. Everyone knows you, that you have a relationship with them. You have to make yourself presentable. You have to make yourself look good. Show the world that this is our beauty. Show the world what you have. When you are in the center, for example, if you're here in the center, make it look good. Make it look nice. This is a mission that we have, responsibility we have to do these things. It's necessary. If you see, garbage there, don't use that, as a way to complain to the board, the management. There's garbage in the masjid. Why didn't you pick it up? You think this masjid belongs to the management? This belongs to the imam and this belongs to all of you. You have the duty to do that. Why? Because of this issue of beauty. You need to make Islam look beautiful. You need to make your deen look beautiful. Allah has beautified it. Learn it and make it beautiful. That's why all these rules are there. Let me give you a few more examples so that you can really enjoy this. We have that when you write a letter or anything, any sort of paper that you want to write, letter that you want to write, article that you want to write, for Muslims and this and that, it is told to us, write Bismillah Rahman Rahim separately, in such a way that it is the highlight of your letter. It's hadith we have. Write it separately and write it as a highlight, that it should be the highlight in the best handwriting. Write it like that. Look at how Allah is so refined, how He wants us to be like that. Even these details are mentioned to us so that we can make deen look beautiful. Whatever we have in our heart, we can make that look beautiful. This is something that we have to do. Let me give another example. The name of Ali, we have hadith that you should write the name of Ali in the best handwriting. That's it. Just write it on paper, best handwriting that you can. Anyone who sees that, because looking at the name of Ali is ibadat. Anyone who sees that, just puts their eyes on it, they are getting ajr for it. And you are getting ajr also. Make this a thing in your Sunday school. Write the name of Ali, put it on the wall so that as many people see the name of Ali that you have written, you're getting reward for that. This is ibadat. See how it has been mentioned to us regarding this. Make it beautiful. Make it highlighted in your life. I don't know how many examples I can give in this regard. But even here in Muharram, these things that we have, everything that we have, make it known to others. The thing is, we need to have passion in what we do. For example, when we have majlis, the majlis should be electrifying. It should be exciting. It should be like, wow. The whole program, I mean. When you do matam, the matam should be exciting. It should be something that you have passion for, fervor for. Yes, we are going to do matam. See, yes, do it that way. Not like it's an obligation we have to do. I'm saying this to you, do it with, even if you do it slow, do it with excitement. When you do it, it's really important how this is put forward out there. This is an obligation on us from this aspect that we have to show the beauty of Islam. We have to show the beauty of Islam. So this is the first way to combat that beauty that shaitan is making in dunya and in evil. The first thing is to make it such that we also show our beauty. To your children, show them the beauty. When you have Eid, Eid shouldn't be just a normal day. Eid should be like the biggest day. Biggest day that we have. In regards to the akhlaq of Eid al-Ghadir. In akhlaq of Eid al-Ghadir, Eid al-Ghadir is, right? Youngsters, do you know what Eid al-Ghadir is? All the ladies are saying yes. I'm saying youngsters. They're saying we're all young. We are all young. But okay, Eid al-Ghadir is the day that Allah has officially appointed Imam Ali as the successor of the Prophet and the leader of Islam. And the means of salvation for this ummah. That is it. So that day, Eid al-Ghadir, subhanallah, Imam Ali himself gave a sermon to show the importance and what to do on Eid al-Ghadir. I mean, this is the mazlumiyat of Imam Ali, that he himself has to speak about this. I mean, others should be doing this, you know. He himself has to say, what should you do on Ghadir? And if you see the things that you have done in Ghadir, Imam Ali says that on Ghadir, you should buy and wear the most expensive and best clothes of the year. You should buy your new clothes and the best clothes in Ghadir. Wear it there. You should have the best meal of the year on Ghadir. This is akhlaq of Ghadir. The best meal of the year should be on Ghadir. If you are making some other meal that's better than Ghadir, then you're doing injustice to Imam Ali. Injustice to Imamat. No, Ghadir should be the best meal. That should be the time that we are like, wow. You should invite others, feed other mu'mineen. The best food. The best food, yes, that they will be like, wow. Why? Because you want to highlight it. That this is important. That this is great. Why this akhlaq? Put this akhlaq in your family and in your households. When Ghadir comes, it shouldn't be some normal day that we just, okay, we go to the majlis and have an hour-long poetry and all that, where the kids are outside, playing basketball. Now, why are the kids not interested? Is it interesting for the kids that the core of their religion, imamat, has been established? Wow, Imam. We'll speak about Imam later, because that is one of the beauties of Islam that we need to discuss more. But really, my friends, these are all for what? To make sure that we highlight it. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Subhanallah. This second way, inshallah, I will speak more about the second way later, but the second way is that when you see kufr, when you see people rejecting Allah or making fun of Ahlul Bayt also, show your hatred. You have to show it. Not just like, oh, I don't want to say anything, people are saying bad. No, show your hatred. Let them know that you're offended. Like, for example, if someone comes to your living room and starts smoking a cigarette, are you okay with that? If someone here comes over here in the masjid and starts smoking a cigarette, will people be okay with that? You'll be offended, right? So what are you offended for? Well, it's bad. It's harmful. Well, my friends, kufr is more harmful. Kufr is more harmful. Why aren't you upset? My friends, if the person who's doing kufr is a donor, then you should say, listen, if you're going to do kufr, I don't need your donation. We don't need your donation if you're going to do kufr. Finish. Because imams don't need the donation of kuffar. You think the imams need their donation to do that? Allah will give you enough, my friends. Trust me. Allah will give you enough. Yes. Don't worry about it. Have those principles in us that when we see kufr, when we see people disobeying Allah, stand up for it. Show that. If you don't show that, your children are learning from you. When you are okay with kufr, they'll say, well, mashallah, our parents are okay with kufr. In fact, they're involved in kufr. I don't know about nowadays. In my days, I remember when I was young in Chicago, like we the kids used to do all the bad work, or the bad things. The kids used to, we used to do all the bad things of going in the store and renting a VHS tape of a Hindi movie or something, for the parents. We didn't know it was haram, But what happened, that when we learned it, we said, sorry, I can't do this, it's haram. And the parents were upset. What are you learning at Sunday school? Don't you know you should respect your parents? Parents, listen, we need to respect Allah more than you. Remember, who made you our parents? Allah did. But you did not make him our Allah, our God. Remember that. That is the thing, inshallah. All right, everyone, that's it. I just want to leave it at that. We'll speak more about these later, but all I will say is this right now. When you look at Ahlul Bayt, that is like a beauty in deen that we are all attracted towards, especially Imam Hussein. Especially Imam Hussein. I'm sure it's with every one of you, just like I feel also. I mean, I love Imam Ali, I love Imam Hassan, all of the Imams, we're Shias, right? We love them with this and that. But Imam Hussein, I don't know. Isn't he different? It's like something so personal. Imam Hussein is so personal, this and that. Really, I mean, but you know what? I felt in my life, when I used to think like that, that maybe I'm making a mistake. Maybe this is wrong way of thinking. Right? All the Imams are the same, but it didn't escape my heart, that Imam Hussein is different. Until I read this hadith. This Shia was in front of Imam Sadiq, and he said to him that, Agha, I love you. All of your ancestors, I love them. They are dear to me. They're part of my life. But Hussein has a special place. Hussein has a special place. I don't know. Am I wrong to think that way? Am I wrong to think that way, that Hussein has a special place amongst all of you Ahlul Bayt? You know what Imam Sadiq said? He said, no, you're not wrong. Let me tell you this. For us Ahlul Bayt, also for us, Imam Hussein is special. Hussein is special even for us. When we look at Hussein, we put him on a different pedestal. We Ahlul Bayt put him on a different pedestal. Friends, Hussein is different. It's a beauty that Allah made for us amongst Ahlul Bayt. They want Hussein to be in front. Hussein, be in front. Show them the beauty of Islam. Let them be attracted to you. Anyone who comes to Hussein, they become beautiful. They do. When you look at the companions of Imam Hussein on Ashura, these were men. And these were beautiful men. When you looked at them, you would be like proud to be even close to them. All of them. Leave the family alone. Abbas is a whole different world. Ali Akbar is a whole different world. But even when you look at the companions who are there, Habib and Muslim and Zuhair, Burair, all of these companions, they were like real, you could say heroes. True warriors, true people, that you are attracted to them. Leave them alone also. Let me talk to you about a slave in the camp of Imam Hussein. A Turkish slave. He was from Turkey. He was a slave of one of the companions, we don't know who. In the books it's been written that a Turkish slave. That's it. That's all that was written. And this slave, really, when you go there in Karbala, when you see the Ganje Shohada, read the names and you will see this Abd Turki, Turkish slave, his name is written there. He was just a person who used to clean the animals, the horses. Someone who looked after the horses, right? But he used to look at these men and he would be so proud of just being around them. These people, you like, subhanAllah, I'm so glad that I am with these men. And he would be like that, and especially Imam Hussein. He fell in love with Imam Hussein. But he was a slave, so he would stay away from Imam Hussein. He was smelling, he was a slave, so he would stay away from Imam Hussein, he would just be there. But once in a while, whenever Imam Hussein came out and was doing things, was with companions, he would go and slowly take a peek at Imam Hussein and just fell in love more with Imam Hussein. Just looking at him. He said, I just want to see Hussein from far away, you know. He doesn't know me. I don't want to go there and bother him. Who am I? I'm nothing. I'm a nobody. You know, I'm a nobody. So this is how he was. Ashura came and he saw that these companions were going and they're like fighting like true warriors. And he was just so proud just to be there and there. And then when he saw them die one after one, he says, you know, I want to go and give my life for Hussein. I want to go and give my life for Hussein. So in the battlefield, he went to one side of the battlefield and started fighting there. Whatever he could, he started fighting. Whatever sword he had, he started fighting and this and that until he was overwhelmed, attacked, injured, and then came a point when that's it. He didn't have any energy anymore. The injuries were overwhelming and he fell to the ground. He fell to the ground. You know, and he heard others. Everyone who used to fall, they used to call out to Imam Hussein. It says, Salamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Whenever a soldier used to fall in Karbala, he said, Salamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. He would fall to the ground just to let Hussein know that he has fallen. So Hussein, as the commander-in-chief, knows that someone has fallen on that side of the battlefield. So he would know that this was the battle plan. So everyone would say that. And he also, as he fell, wanted to say, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. But as soon as he was getting ready to say that, he was ashamed. He was, I don't want to bother Hussein. Who am I? Hussein doesn't care about me. Hussein doesn't care about me. So he fell to the ground. He fell to the ground and he whispered, dying, he whispered, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. He just whispered and he was down on the ground dying. The heat was on his face. His eyes were closed. Now he's dying away. That's it. He was finished. He was dying. He was saying that I'm so glad I died for Hussein. And then he felt something cool come over him. Say like a shade come over him. He says, maybe this is Jannat. Maybe this is Jannat. Maybe this is the cold I'm feeling. So he opened his eyes a little bit and he saw Imam Hussein sitting on top of him. He saw Imam Hussein sitting on top of him. Imam Hussein, he looked at him and said, Mawla, why did you come to me? I didn't want to bother you. Hussein said, you think you will call me and I don't come to you? I came to you, my friends. This is Hussein. People who are with Hussein, you know, even the slaves, you see how beautiful they are. Even the slaves, John, who was the slave of Imam Hussein. He was a slave of Imam Hussein. He was an African. He came to Imam Hussein because everyone was going and dying. He said, Mawla, why don't you send me to the battlefield and let me die? He said, is it because I'm black? Is that why? Is that why you're not sending me? Maybe I will make you look bad. Or is it because I have a body odor and my odor is bad? Is it because of that? Or is it because my background is weak and I don't have any background? Is that why? Imam Hussein called him near, hugged him and said, John, none of that. Go to the battle. When he went to the battle and he was dying and he died there, Hussein came to his body. You know what Hussein did with John? When the angel of death came to him, Hussein picked up John's body, gave him to the angel of death and said, listen, this is an amanat from Hussein to his mother Fatima. سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون يا محمود بحق محمد يا الله بحق علي يا فاطمة السمان حق فاطمة يا محسن بحق حسن يا قديم والأحسان بحق حسين. Allah, give us the tawfiq to be on the right path. Give us the wisdom to understand your guidance. Hasten the reappearance of our Imam. Make us his helper when he comes. وآخر الدعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. ماتم حسين.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.